So, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the guys that entered the competition trying to pick the weight to see what was the weight I did from a deficit deadlift. The answer was 300 kilos, so the two winners, Shane German and Kristen Langton, will get their t-shirts in the post. One thing I have found is a lot of coaches and top-level athletes program the deficit deadlifts to help floor speed. I do believe you use more legs from a lower position, but I don't believe this transfers to standard deadlift floor speed, because when you pull from, let's say, a 3-inch deficit, not only are you in a different position to what you would normally start in, but by the time you have pulled the bar those additional 3 inches, the bar will be travelling through the starting position of a normal deadlift with momentum. I personally find the deficit deadlift is more a lift that will just increase overall strength in a disadvantageous position, and if anything, it will increase the difficulty at lockout due to the extended range of motion. That being said, here's a session where I work up to a max. People have been asking me why I do this. It's called PAP training, post-activation potention, and this basically states that when your body has handled a greater weight, it's had to contract its muscles harder. Therefore, if you work up to a daily maximum and then back down to a repetition set, that repetition set, your body will be expecting you to have a bigger weight than you actually do, therefore contracting harder, potentially making that rep set easier. Or hopefully being able to lift more weight than you would be able to had you not got up to that daily maximum. So this is 220, as you can see, pretty straightforward. I then move on to 260. One thing you'll notice is I have to push the bar out in front of me and then roll it in towards me to get into the right position. This is mainly I'm just too fat to be pulling from a 3-inch deficit. I then move on to 280, which is a PB for me, I think by 20 kilos from a 3-inch deficit. I'm shaking the bar and making all sorts of random grunting noises because I'm unhappy with this position that I have to be in to pull from here. But in general, I was happy enough with this lift to go for the big 300 kilos. I had to get pretty mental to get into the zone for this lift. For me, this is a huge BR, and from a height that I find really awkward, so I was pretty happy with the outcome. And then finally, for my last few sets, I dropped down to 260 using the PAP training in order to hopefully make these stronger than they would have been before I went up to my daily maximum. In general, I was pretty happy with these sets. I was pretty happy with the speed and the positioning. The one thing I did find was that my chest wanted to go forward. I felt that my hips kept trying to raise up, so on these last few sets of 260 I was really trying to keep that positioning. I will mention the reason I am using straps on these rep sets is I did test out my hand and go up to 300 kilos, which was a huge improvement, but I did one set of 260 for reps and found that my hand had pretty much had enough by then, so I moved to straps in order just to make sure the recovery still keeps going forward. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you have any particular questions of any of the things I've covered today, just leave them in the comment section.